This is KGW News at 11.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. We begin with a winter storm warning for part of our area and the possibility for one more shot of snow in the metro. Let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a look at the timing of this system moving in.
Yeah, Blair, that specific advisory is going to kick off right around 10 in the morning on Monday and last roughly 24 hours, so all the way until Tuesday morning. But this is a look at the hour by hour kind of look on when that system is going to hit. We're actually already starting to see some showers along our coastline, and that will be same trend as we're waking up tomorrow for our Monday. Some snow in those higher elevations. And again, that trend will continue. Now, our best bet for us to see any type of snow along the Willamette Valley is going to be Monday night into early Tuesday morning, as we're looking at right around 2 o'clock in the morning, specifically as we're looking at Tuesday. So again, many of us are probably not even going to be awake by then, or if you are driving, obviously make sure to plan accordingly. But go ahead and check this out. By 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, that system moves down south, and we're really going to be in the clear. We're actually going to be seeing a very beautiful day for the rest of our Tuesday. All right, this is everything that you need to know for Monday. Again, numerous showers, also breezy conditions, possible for afternoon thunder. And as we're looking at those snow levels at right around 500 feet, we're expecting a trace to 2 inches. But again, along the valley floor, right around a trace to 1 inch. But we'll talk more about this in that 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Daisy, thank you. A lot to keep an eye on there. Well, for those on the coast, there's a high surf advisory to be aware of over the next few days. The alert applies to both the north and central coasts. It starts tomorrow afternoon and lasts through Tuesday night. Emergency officials are warning of large waves up to 25 feet. Anyone close to the beach should keep an eye out for sneaker waves, rolling logs, and erosion that could damage oceanfront property. Well, that was the sound of pure elation from Chiefs fans in Northeast Portland tonight. The Chiefs won Super Bowl 57 by just 3 points, a very close game throughout. Fans of all ages gathered at Pono Brewing to watch the nail-biter together and celebrate another Super Bowl ring.
We love having all of us pull on the same rope here, and all of us, pull for Kansas City in the same bar. That's what makes it really fun.
It was the best day of my life.
Yeah, it was such a roller coaster of a game. The Eagles are a great team. But yeah, Kansas City just managed strategy at the end of the game. So good, so amazing.
Well, local Eagles fans also had plenty to be proud of. Many watched the game from Coach's Bar and Grill in Southwest Portland. You can look for highlights from the Super Bowl and more reaction coming up in half an hour on Sports Sunday here on KGW. Well, new tonight, we've been talking about businesses moving out of Portland because of the increase in crime. But some are finding a way to stay in the city and feel more protected. Many smaller stores are reopening inside the Lloyd Center Mall. The once booming mall that was nearly empty after most anchor stores left is now seeing a resurgence. Brian Clerkley joins us from the newsroom. And Brian, you spoke with a business owner about his decision to move.
Yeah, Blair, the owner of Stack and Kick started his business out of the trunk of his car almost 13 years ago. He's hoping his latest move to the Lloyd Center will be part of a bright future for both his store and the mall.
Yeah, it was always vandalism. Yeah, the whole fence on the side of the shop, man, like it stayed vandalized. Blessed for me, like they never touched my shop. They always went around it.
David Jefferson is the owner of Stack and Kicks. He recently moved into this storefront inside Lloyd Center. He had a place on 33rd and Sandy for 2 years, but because of low foot traffic and petty crime, he decided to make the move. He thinks his storefront is safer inside the mall.
Oh, it's way better protected. Yeah, definitely. You can't really technically get in here just at will. I mean, sometimes people can sneak in here, but ultimately you don't have access to the mall after hours.
If you take a walk through Jefferson's store, you can see jackets, sweatshirts, shoes, and pants with his designs on them. It's precious merchandise. He's happy he doesn't have to constantly check his security cameras when he's away from the store, like he did at the old location.
You know, I sleep better. I don't think twice about it. All the time I had to check my camera when my store was on Sandy just to see if anything was going on. If I was traveling out of town, I had to check the camera to see if anybody was in there, if there's any moves being made.
Jefferson knows the reputation at Lloyd Center is not that great, but he didn't have any second thoughts about opening his store inside the troubled mall. He says for the past month he's been open, business has been really good. Stores like Floating World Comics have also opened up in the Lloyd Center. Their previous location in Old Town closed because of crime. Pallet Portland also cites crime as the reason they're moving from downtown with plans to open in the Lloyd Center soon.
I still wanted to build and have access to just a new client base, and I wanted to get back to my childhood mall. I just thought the energy would make more sense for me, and I can, it's also part of community building.
And Jefferson says people should give Lloyd Center a second chance and see all of the new local businesses that have moved in. The hours for the Lloyd Center are 11 to 7, and Lloyd Center was built back in 1960, and at the time it was the largest mall in the world. Blair.
Brian, thank you. Well, in an update tonight, construction work on the Morrison Bridge in downtown Portland has wrapped up early. This is a live look from our Rose City Skycam of the bridge back open. The bridge shut down Friday night for painting. Crews also installed a new drainage system. There will be similar weekend closures over the next few months to finish up the project. And new tonight, plans are in the works to upgrade pedestrian safety in Tigard. Congresswoman Andrea Salinas, along with several other local leaders, were out taking a look at a stretch of Hall Boulevard Friday night. The Congresswoman helped to get $3.2 million in funding to set up enhanced pedestrian crossing signals, along with upgrades to more than a dozen crosswalks to make them fall under current ADA standards.
Because we've seen such growth here in Oregon in this region, and this is a regional concern. We're seeing, new development in these neighborhoods. We're going to have families continuing to move in. We need to make this safe before we continue to see this growth.
The signals are set to go in at the intersections of Hemlock and Spruce. A reminder for voters in Clark County. This coming Tuesday is the deadline for ballots in a special election. There are several local resolutions on the table, including 4 school levies. Both Vancouver and Washougal school districts are asking voters to approve replacement levies that would keep funding for existing programs. And in Salem tomorrow, we expect to see a big push to recognize the need for more mental health support in Oregon. State lawmakers are considering several bills aimed at suicide prevention. Catherine Cook shows us how advocates will be at the Capitol to make their case.
I never wanted to die. I don't want to die, but my brain every day, I have to fight those thoughts because I do live with chronic suicidal ideation.
Angela Perry has found a way to turn her pain into purpose.
Our goal is to give others hope.
She's board chair of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Oregon chapter, and she's a staunch advocate for destigmatizing mental health.
I just hope other people are able to see it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there.
On Monday, Angela and other advocates will be in Salem. They'll offer testimony on 3 bills aimed at supporting suicide prevention services. 2 go before lawmakers on Monday. Those bills focus on suicide prevention by supporting training resources for medical professionals. Last week, a House committee heard testimony on a 3rd bill, HB 2757. It asks lawmakers to support a 50-cent cell phone tax to fund services connected to 988. It works like 911. But callers are routed straight to mental health crisis lines. Since Oregon transitioned to 988 in July, call centers like Lines for Life have received an average of 684 more calls per month. So it's working. But advocates say in order to meet that growing need, this additional funding is critical.
The 988 system has brought me hope that I haven't had in over 30 years, but the work is not complete.
We have a sense of urgency about its passage because it's an essential element of our work to save lives and reduce Oregon's high suicide rate.
According to the CDC, Oregon ranks 13th in the nation for deaths by suicide. It's a statistic that hits Angela in a very personal way, even beyond her own struggles. In 2017, her Aunt Jean died by suicide. She lived just a few miles from this park.
We used to come and walk around here when I was struggling with my mental health. She's the one who talked me into going back to therapy. So part of the reason why I am still here today.
And why she's still here for others.
Suicide doesn't have to be the end answer.
In Tigard, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, if you or someone you know is in crisis or just need someone to talk to, 988 is the number to call. There you'll be connected with local organizations and resources if needed.